Okay, so today's topic that we're going to talk about is debt. Once again, there is a whole chapter on debt in Goodbye Money Guilt. We talk about it in Abundant as Fuck, the Elite Membership, all the things. So if this is a trigger topic for you, we're going to talk about it today, but there are other places where you can go further into this as well. So let's talk about debt. 6-7 years ago, I was in debt up to my eyeballs. We're talking about car loans, mortgages, multiple credit cards maxed out, and I'm now at the place where the only debt that we have is our mortgage. However, getting rid of your debt isn't always the answer. I do not believe that everyone's goal should be to be debt free. I do not believe that having debt makes you a bad person. I did not intentionally set out to remove all the other debt out of my life. It's just happened as the goals and things in life have progressed for us. But debt is not the devil. That is a lie they tell us to keep us small. So debt is not the devil. Let's just clear that up straight away. A lot of really, really wealthy, successful people having incredible impact in this world also have debt, right? The idea that debt is a bad thing and if you have debt, you're a piece of shit human is a perpetuated myth aimed to keep people in this constant cycle of having debt, trying to get rid of their debt, in turn creating more debt. When the fact is, if you can actually shift your perspective on the way that you perceive debt, everything changes. Number one, if getting rid of the debt is a goal for you, then it's a lot easier to do that once you shift your energy around the debt. And number two, once you start seeing debt as an actual tool and a resource to move you forward, incredible opportunities can open up for you. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and buy a Lamborghini today because the lady on Instagram told me that debt was okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying once we stop demonizing debt, it becomes a lot easier to manage it. You might be holding shame around your debt at the moment for a couple of reasons. Number one, you look back and realize that choice or that decision was not in alignment with you, was not the best thing that you wanted to do, whatever reason it might have been. Or you look at the debt and you see debt as something that's bad, according to your parents, society, teachers, the world in general, that tells you should be debt free by the age of 35, which is all a bullshit lie because we all know successful people have debt and debt is not the devil. But so it's like, where is this idea that debt is bad coming from? Where is that coming from? So if that's the first step to identifying it, the second step is shifting your perspective on debt. Debt is a choice to pay something off over time rather than upfront. That's literally all it is. And the interest is the kind of consequence for that choice. And once you can kind of look at it logically without all this emotion and guilt attached to it that everyone else has told you should feel, then it gets a lot clearer. And the emotion, talking about going out and running out and getting into more debt because Shona said debt's cool. Like debt, I just want you to be able to remove the emotional ties to that debt and the shame and the guilt and all that type of stuff that you feel around it. Once you can clear and get rid of all of that messy feeling, that chaotic, shameful feeling, then you can look at it logically. Then you can make a plan to remove the debt if that is a goal for you, remove the debt in a timely fashion while also focusing on growing your income and also focusing on improving your cash flow so that you have other options instead of once again going into more debt next time this cycle comes around. Because this is the thing, you can pay off that debt as quick as you want, but if you don't deal with the underlying feelings and an emotional charge and the frequency that you hold around debt, 100% you will end back up in the same place that you were before. And I know this because it happened for me. Every time I paid off my credit card, it came back. It was maxed out again. How do we actually move through this space and work on healing it? The first step is always awareness. Actually call awareness to your debt and putting on your big girl pants and looking at it. Okay, what debt do I hold in what areas? What are the interest rates? What is the amount of debt that I hold over the board? What's my net worth? So first step, taking radical responsibility and actually being honest with yourself about the situation that you're currently in. Step number 2 is actually expressing gratitude for that debt, which I know sounds really counterintuitive, but trust me, go and look at that credit card, go and look at that car loan, go and look at whatever you've got going on. And actually, I want you to express gratitude for whatever it is it gave you, because chances are when you look back at that debt, whether that is for your kids' medical expenses, whether that's for a new car that you really needed once you unexpectedly got pregnant with your third child, whatever it is for you, I want you to look at that debt, really look at it and acknowledge and express gratitude for having the opportunity to have that thing experience at And then once you've expressed gratitude for the debt and really sat with that feeling of knowing you made the best decision that you could with the information and the tools and resources that you had at that time, and you can really sit with that debt and feel gratitude for it, then you can move on to the next step of like, okay, so I want to maybe rewrite the next chapter a little bit differently. Maybe I want to remove some of my high interest debt. Maybe I want to consolidate some things together. And then you can look at it from this really logical perspective, and with the perspective of always also trying to raise your income level, because this is the thing. If you needed the debt in the first place, that is an indicator that there were some things, whether they were emergencies or lifestyle goals that you had that you couldn't achieve on your current income and the savings and everything that you had set out. So it still comes back to acknowledgement, awareness, gratitude, but also this is an indicator to me that I need to raise my wealth frequency, go to the next level, and actually tap into overflow and abundance instead of restriction and scarcity.